Thank you very much, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for International Development and the Pacific, representing the Minister for Health, Senator Fierravanti-Wells. Can the Minister update the Senate on how the coalition government is supporting Australian medical research?
The Minister representing the Minister for Health, Senator Fierravanti-Wells.
Thank you, Mr President. Can I thank Senator Smith for his question? Today, the Minister for Health has announced a massive boost to medical research in Australia. The Turnbull government will invest $640 million to support Australia's world-leading health and medical researchers. Cancer research continues to be a major priority for this government, with $109 million allocated to projects for research into better cancer detection, treatments, care and cures. Over $96 million for cardiovascular disease, $48 million for diabetes research. Over $53 million will be targeted through research projects that aim to help 4 million Australians who suffer from a form of mental health illness each year. Prioritising the health of Indigenous Australians is again a focus, with an additional $31 million. Now, the National Health and Medical Research Council is introducing a new initiative to reduce the gap in funded rates between male and female-led investigators for project grants. Across Australia, 732 projects will receive funding for research into the areas mentioned and also into other national health priority areas such as injury, dementia, obesity, asthma, arthritis and osteoporosis. And today's announcement once again proves the Turnbull government has a rock-solid commitment to the health and the better health of Australians. But of course, compare that with those opposite. And what they did at the last federal election. I mean, I'll take the interjection from Senator Cameron. All you were able to offer at the last election was Mediscare and Medifraud. Remember ringing up, scaring the little old lady? Your little mates went out there, Senator Cameron, ringing up the little old ladies.
Senator Fierravanti-Wells, the time for the answer has expired. Order on my left. Order on my left. Order. Now, on my right as well. We will proceed with question time when there is some silence. So I'll wait till I can hear you, Senator Smith. Order. On my left, you're wasting your own time. Senator Smith.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the minister outline to the Senate what the impact will be of this substantial new investment in medical research?
Minister, representing the Minister for Health, Senator Fierravanti-Wells.
Thank you, Mr President. This funding supports work in laboratories, clinics and the community to find the next major medical breakthrough. Medical research investment is driving an increase in cancer survival rates. It is estimated that more than 1 million Australians are living with cancer or have survived a cancer diagnosis. A grant of $1.16 million will use data, for example, from cancer survivors and people without cancer to generate new knowledge to improve policy, clinical practice and health outcomes. Now, of course, this announcement will have flow-on effects to places like Macquarie Park in Bennelong, where there are many companies that contribute to Australia's better health outcomes. They have a very strong supporter in John Alexander, as opposed to you opposite there, who cut medical research when you were in government.
Senator Smith, final supplementary question. Order on my left. Senator Smith.
Thank you, Mr President. Is the minister aware of any threats to medical research in Australia?
Senator Fierravanti-Wells.
Thank you, Mr President. It's those opposite, Mr President. Let's look at Labor's abysmal record on medical research. During Labor's term, they repeatedly tried to cut funding from medical research. In 2011, Labor tried to rip $400 million from medical research but backflipped at the last moment after the researchers went out protesting in the streets. Labor also ripped $140 million out of medical research in their last budget through tricky accounting that withheld money from the NHMRC and then forced them to claim it back. Claim back what they had spent. This is no way to give certainty to the medical research sector, and this is especially important in places like Bennelong, where thousands of people directly and indirectly benefit from health-related investments. Contrast this with your record, Mediscare and Medifraud.
Order, Senator Fierravanti-Wells. Time for the answer has expired. Senator